you find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Welcome into the Gibson Fantasy Football Podcast.
Woo!
We be back.
We are.
Another wild Wednesday.
Ooh, busy week. This is my last podcast here in Ontario.
Coming out eastbound and down.
Yep, it's going to be next Wednesday.
Yeah, that'll be our
live
live
studio.
in studio debut. There it is. I'm excited.
It's going to be fun.
Me too, man. It'll be good times.
Oh, yeah. I'll tear down that Broncos thing, but we can move on.
We'll alternate. We can get a Raiders one, and we'll flip it every week. All right. So we're here on Wednesday, October 19th. And we are Josh and Aaron, GibsonFantasyFootball.com, Gibson_FF on Twitter, Gibson Fantasy Football, all one word, Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, and Spotify. And believe it or not, we've arrived at week 7.
Wow, it's flying by.
It is flying by, man. And the bye weeks are like in full-fledged now. You know, it's terrible. They go and take the Eagles, the Vikings, the Rams, and the Bills, and they put them on a bye week at the same time. Such good teams for fantasy, man. Jesus.
Eagles, Vikings. Did you say Bills and
Rams?
Rams.
So no Josh Allen, no Jalen Hurts, no Cooper Kupp, no Stephon Diggs, no Justin Jefferson. Like, it's just...
I could have used this week when I played you and when I played Dan, so...
Well, unfortunately, Dan's going to have a bit of a cakewalk now because Evan's going to be without Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, and Dalvin Cook this week. So,
ooh, ouch.
Yeah,
that hurts.
We'll see what he can pull off. I might make a little trade ski with him because I got some extra players. So,
you're all about the trades.
Always looking for an opening. All right. Well, we finish off last week before we get into this week.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't want to.
It's this last few weeks have just been
Yeah, you've been on a bit of a downward spiral, man. You got to correct yourself this week.
Not good.
Still lots of time, and you're not, nobody's like running away with it here, so you certainly got a chance to get back in. But all right, so let's start off with a person who did not have a good week. Now, this is the second time that I thought it was going to be you. It was barely the same person.
I'm just avoiding it.
You found the niche, man, to land in, second to last place, but not land in last place. So I mean, kudos to you on that one. That's there's an art to that.
0.2.
Yeah, it was 0.02. Super close.
0.02. Wow.
All right, let's cue it.
Oh, man. Beck looks so young in that video.
It was a lot of years ago.
Yeah, that was like 93, 92 that came out. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was the 90s for sure, man. So, I mean, it's like 30 years ago, man.
Yeah. Wear it proud, Jay. Wear it proud.
Yeah, Jay finds himself in a familiar... We had just talked last week that in 5 weeks of action, it had rotated between 5 different people as the loser of the week. And Jay went and said, well, all right, I'm gonna be the first repeat customer.
Gonna double down.
Double down indeed. Yeah, and I mean, we'll go there. Let's go there first then. So him and Don, it was actually a pretty close matchup, and it went back and forth there, looking
Mhm.
at different times who was going to come out on top. But as you take a peek here, what stands out to you about this matchup?
I'll have to pull it up, but it's a lot closer than I expected. Not a high scoring week, that's for sure.
No, it was a bad fantasy week. There was
Yeah.
like some players that went absolutely nuclear, like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and handful of other really good options. But there's a lot of random people catching touchdowns that helped absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
So I mean, his Lamar Andrews stack was actually not bad. Lamar was only 17 points, which is not what you'd hope for. It's not going to completely kill you. But Andrews put up a 20 spot. Excuse me. AJ Brown did all right, 15 points. And then that's really the end of the story there.
Pretty much, right? Christian Kirk, 8 points.
And that was with a touchdown, man. Six of those points were a touchdown.
Tough loss, too, for Jacksonville on that one.
Oh, God.
Couldn't believe that loss. Just friggin' Matty Ice, man.
She went nuclear. It was like
Still got that
338 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, not great. Just a couple of players. I feel like me and him could relate. I could relate a lot to his team this past week. So
yeah, and McLaurin and Samuel were a bad choice on Thursday against the Bears. Tucker was okay, but he does live a lot by the Ravens with that Lamar Andrews Tucker trio there.
For sure. And it somewhat paid off. I mean, 17 point from your quarterback's not the worst.
No.
It could be a lot worse. It's not great. It's not worse. But when your other players don't kind of step it up, that's when it kind of goes out the window for you. So
yeah, because I mean, Don on the flip side, right? Like another, 5 players with 7.3 points or less. So like also a bad performance. Yeah. Got a little bit out of Henderson because of the touchdown. Got enough out of Debo. Thielen because of the touchdown. Tyreek Hill, man, 12 for 177. That was he stole the show there. And then Kyler was brutal with no touchdowns, but because he rushed for 100 yards, he's sort of saved his day there.
What happened? I didn't get
Seattle
to see that
game,
Seattle. Man. I didn't watch, I don't think, any of that Seattle-Arizona game, so I don't know too much what happened.
The Arizona defense was sacking Geno, and the Seattle defense was forcing Murray to throw it short. And so it was just they're kicking field goals. I think Jason Myers kicked like 4 field goals. Like it was just the game actually is closer than it should have been. It's 19-9, but 6 of those points came from the Cardinals defense on a fumble recovery. So their offense only generated 1 field goal, like on the opening drive, and then that was it.
What, they missed the extra point?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so. I didn't see it live, so I don't know if they went for 2 and at that point, depending on what the score was. But
right.
Yeah, because they would have been at 9 at that point. Maybe Seattle was at like 16. So I mean, you still would think you'd go for it. They probably missed the extra point.
You'd think more out of Arizona.
Oh my goodness! Such a juicy matchup.
They just picked up
Robbie Anderson
from
the Panthers because Hollywood's toast for at least 4 weeks.
Oof, that's a tough one.
He's the wide receiver 6 so far this year.
So Baltimore's missing him. I'll tell you that much.
Oh man, Rashad Bateman. They're hoping to get him back.
They just picked up what?
Deshaun Jackson.
Vincent
Jackson. That's a throwback.
That's Vincent Jackson. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, I mean, final score 102.68, 93.8. It was pretty close, right? And Dawn had her defense playing on Monday, so I think she was up like 95 to 93, and then finished off with the defense there. But yeah, it was a tight one, and she came out on top. And now her and Jay have the same record. So I mean, there's a lot of 2 and 4 teams here. Now we get to flip over to a more exciting situation, as there was a person who finished with the highest score this week.
Yeah. Was it me?
Who could it be, Aaron?
It was not me.
Who was it?
That I can tell you.
You're right.
Oh, the classic red New York Yankee hat.
Keep rolling.
Yeah.
Back-to-back champ of the week, so let's keep it rolling.
It was a close week though for you.
Oh man, I was not comfortable all week in this matchup against Kreger. He brought his A game, and it was down to the wire, man.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it was comfortable because it was whatever, like an 18-point gap, but he had Mike Williams going into Monday night, who could have easily put up another 18 points, right? So I was fortunate to get just enough here because he had the highest scoring player of the week in Joe Burrow.
He had some big and great pickup on the New England defense too.
Oh,
really solid there. So
yeah, that was my demise. There was my defense, man. I've been having a tough time picking defenses this year.
Is George Kittle making a comeback? I know he kept him on the bench, but he got some good points.
He did.
It'd be nice to see that guy making a bit of a turnaround because
I know. He's like fantasy aside, and you leave like okay, the Peyton Mannings and some of my favorite players. George Kittle's right up there. It's one of my favorite players.
Oh, just a grinder.
Such a beast, man, and his hair and his like wild behavior. He's just he's just so much fun.
But when I look at the score consistency in your team, right? Like only a couple players, 3 players, I think, under 10 points on your team. So
Goddard not good. They didn't need him to beat Dallas, unfortunately. That Dallas defense is good, but Philly's they're too much.
That offense is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, the yardage was okay. He had all the touches, but again, we talked about that matchup being garbage. Tampa defense. I can't believe they lost 20-18 to Pittsburgh. That blew my mind. I never saw that coming.
I'm thinking Tampa Bay does not look good. And
no.
I'm starting to think Tom Brady's rethinking this whole maybe I should have stayed retired thing. This could be the downfall of Tom Brady this season. So
it could be. He loses his wife. He loses his football career. It's a country song waiting.
I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel too sorry for him. He's I think he'll do just fine. He'll be all
right.
He'll be a great team.
Got friends in high places. I was fortunate. Like, luckily, Joe Burrow and I had Jamar Chase, and Chase had 7 for 132 and 2 of Burrow's 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. So I was able to absorb enough of it to keep me in it there. And then Ramondre Stevenson got into the end zone twice, and Gabe Davis had a big touchdown. And my quarterback situation is a mess. I benched Herbert because I was like, he's been terrible. So I went after Geno in that matchup. He got 12 points, and I was cursing myself. And then Murray ended up getting 9 points. So I was like, well, I guess I made the right choice, but Jesus. It's interesting. You can get the champ of the week score 1 week, and then the next week you're like, I still don't feel comfortable with my team.
I know. Well, there was that 1 week where I was like flying high, and I thought, oh, wow, this is a great team. I was completely wrong. I do not have a great team. I've got mediocre players that show up.
Well, injuries have been a big part. Like Waddle, Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Connor.
No excuses. No.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. But, that's it's tough to judge for sure. So we got Kreger there. Yeah. So put up 122.9. I was the final score with 140.58. And move along. What happened to Aaron? Oh no. Something happened to Aaron.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Computer just decided to say, "Hey, I'm going to shut you off." Didn't like what I was saying about my players, so just shut me
I
off.
was wondering. I was like, you just pieced out, I guess.
Yeah. I'm so fed up with this. I'm done.
Yeah, that's it. No excuses. Whoosh.
No, that was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was a great line to end on, man. I liked it. The makings of a great rant.
Oh man.
So, all right, let's move along then. So we covered me and Kreger. We covered Don and Jay there. We'll go to you. You talked about your team, so let's go to you next with
let's just
the
get
Dan
this over and
man.
done with.
So I mean, you still got Mahomes. He's been on fire, and Mixon found the end zone. Sanders found the end zone. Waddle had another big game, 6 for 129, and then that's kind of the end of the exciting part there.
Yeah, pretty much. Wilson Jr., that consistency of him getting like 9+ points was just done.
Fumbled, and then they got behind, and I don't know how they lost by 14 to Atlanta, but
San Fran defense did not show up that week. Yeah, it's just an ugly, ugly score. T. Higgins did pretty well. I'm a little worried about Waddle, though. Yeah, the tight end. Again, my tight end woes continue. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out the tight end position. Yeah. I got no answer for that.
I mean, you're going to get Amon-Ra St. Brown back off the bye this week, so hopefully that'll help. I don't know if Connor's going to go tomorrow or not. He looks questionable.
I'm staying away from Thursday games.
Yeah, I know.
Well, except that 1 week, but I kind of had no choice to.
Oh, yeah, with Waddle and Higgins.
And Mixon. Yeah, hopefully, Higgins. I mean, the fact that he got me 7 points is a miracle because it was looking like it was going to be a 0 again for him.
He's a nervous start.
Yeah, but right now he's kind of my only start, especially with some of these buys going on, like especially this week. I mean, I really had nobody to put in there.
No, you couldn't play
Waddle, I guess, in that position, and then maybe put Gibson, but Gibson only got 6 points. I really had nobody, so just kind of ride and die it.
Yeah, and I mean on the other side, Dan he got a ton of consistency at his team, right? Cooper found the end zone for his day. Godwin had a nice game. Eckler was a catching machine. Najee got a touchdown. Kelsey did his thing. Fournette did his thing. So, I mean, Jalen Hurts actually had a down game, but it didn't matter.
No, it didn't.
He put up a pretty good score there.
Yeah, it was not good. And he also beat me in the other league, too, that we're in. So.
Oh, yeah. I know. That guy's on fire this year, man.
Yeah.
Got to take him down soon.
Make it into the playoffs and take him down there.
That's it. You got to punch your ticket, and then everything after that's gravy. All right, last but not least here, Evan, man, he's on the comeback trail, eh? So started 1-2. Now he's got 3 wins in a row. He's looking pretty good here and put together a decent score. Huge week from Diggs, decent from Cup, nice week from Cook. He's got good things going on at tight end with Zach Ertz. Ayuk had an unusually great game.
Yeah, he did.
Great game. Good call from the Rams D. And I mean, just consistency like Dan's team there, right?
For sure. Yeah, that's what I see when I look down that list. It's too bad. OMG's got some good players, but just a few of them got put up some good points. Brees
Timing,
Hall.
Man. Yeah, Chubb had a rough game against they got behind almost immediately, and then they abandoned the run game for the most part.
Yeah.
And then, Taysom Hill was he's always a bit of a gamble at quarterback, tight end, because, he's not really a tight end, but he took a shot at it with Hawkinson on the bye, and that didn't pan out. And then Josh Allen did his thing. Lazard actually had a nice game. Devonta Smith had a decent game. Brees Hall's on fire.
Yeah.
Dobbins got banged up with his knee flared up.
Yep.
And then, Deontay Johnson with a tough game. So, And his defense got a -1 point, which is never a good situation.
Surprising too. Like I don't think going into that week, I thought it's not a bad defense to pick up.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I mean, this year the NFL is it's flip a coin.
Wild.
Flip a coin.
Well, we'll talk about it in our last sip segment because
yeah,
that's part of what we're up to today. It's who's so many teams that are just constantly winning and losing each week. Can't tell who's going to win week to week, but all right. Anything else to put a bow on last week's extravaganza there?
Nope, another tough week. Just want to move on from it.
Yep.
Brush this off.
Okay. Injury suspension report. So, DeAndre Hopkins is back off his suspension, and he should be eligible and expected to be in the lineup tomorrow.
Oh.
So, good timing for them. They lose Hollywood. They get Hopkins.
You put him in the lineup?
I traded him to Don.
Oh, that's right.
I needed to clear up a roster spot, and I thought I can't play him this week, and I traded him and Mostert for DK Metcalf, who I didn't play because I don't know. Excuse me, sorry. I had a weird inkling about him, and I was like, I don't know. I got some decent options, but I'm hoping DK bounces back here because I think he's a good receiver. But Hopkins, now that Hollywood Brown is out, probably would have been the better choice out of those.
Yeah, he should see the ball a lot more. Should
be good. So yeah, Hollywood, at least 4 weeks. First they were saying it could be season ending. Then he said 6 weeks. Now they're saying at least 4. So it's kind of hard to know exactly what that's going to amount to, but he's out for a bit. Treylon Burks is still out. Elijah Mitchell's still out. Cordell Patterson's still out. Gus Edwards is still out. Baker, Dodson, Landry, and Michael Thomas are all out for this week. And then players that we're keeping an eye on with injuries is Rashad Bateman, Jonathan Taylor, James Conner, Naeem Hines, Keenan Allen, Damian Harris, Darren Waller, Russell Wilson, J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Waddle, and T. Higgins. So,
yeah, I'm worried about Waddle because that looked like it almost looked like a separated shoulder or something, and who knows? So he may sit out this week and try to recover, but
yeah, and they play Pittsburgh, right? So you're kind of wondering, like, do they need him, right?
Well,
Tua's supposed to be back. Yeah.
So I wouldn't, like, if Tariq Hill's good to go, like, I don't, I'm not.
They shouldn't need him, but
no, but I mean, I would love for him to play, but at the same time, I want the guy to be healthy and you know, so
you want to be able to rely on him.
Higgins is going to be on this list all year. I guarantee you, he's going to be on this list all year. So I don't know. I'm almost ready. I'm ready to give up on the guy. I'm ready to trade him, I think.
Yeah. If I didn't have Jamar Chase, I'd be more interested in that. But
I'll trade you for him.
Yeah, I bet.
Straight up.
I held him through his 2 bad weeks, man, and waited. And here we are. And now I get the blow up week that I was hoping for. So, yeah, I'm curious. Dobbins is a big one for that backfield. Russ, I mean, I don't even know if he's going to play. I don't even know if he should play. He looks terrible. Although he started 10 for 10 on that game on Monday, and then that was the end of the road. So Keenan Allen should be back. Jonathan Taylor should be back. Don't know about Damian Harris. But yeah, Swift is another one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, coming off the bye, and he's still not 100% healthy. So that's another questionable one.
They need him. They're going to do anything, so.
Yeah. All right. Apologies for the coughing still. Trying to recover from this cold here. But speaking of trying to survive, let's move to our survivor picks. So last week, Rams came through over the Panthers. Packers did not come through for you over the Jets.
No, they did not.
What a terrible game. The Packers are like the Bucs, man. Both those offenses that we come to expect to be so great are now so unreliable.
Yeah.
So you are, you've got a streak of 2 and a streak of 1, and now you're starting a new streak. and I'm continuing with I got a streak of 1 and a new streak of 1. So far 2 is the record, and we'll see how that pans out. But where are you looking this week? It's an intriguing one. And I'm trying to look at who we've used too, because you can't reuse a team.
Have I already used Baltimore?
You have not.
I'll take Baltimore at home, coming off a loss against Cleveland.
Okay, I like it. I think they should be just fine. Browns are, they got hammered by the Patriots. They've been feisty though. They give the Chargers a run for their money a couple weeks ago there. So we'll see. But yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good pick. I mean, nothing's safe at this point because random things are happening every week, but it's a pretty good bet. And I'm going to go with the Patriots over the Bears on the Monday Nighter there. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. They seem to have turned around. I got to say, it's interesting because you hear the talks out of Dallas and Dak Prescott. When he comes back, he's going to be the starting quarterback. And I think after last Sunday, yeah, that's pretty safe to say. Mm-hmm. But in New England, what's his name? Zeppo?
Oh, Bailey Zappi, man. I know. He's on fire.
I guarantee you, if Mac Jones comes back, Bill Belichick's not going to put him right back in there. He's going to go with the guy that's winning. That's just Bill Belichick's way. That's two different philosophies there, right? If it would have been interesting if Cooper Rush had won that game against Philly, what would have happened, right? But
I think this is part of it too, right?
For sure.
They gave a ton of money to Dak, and it's you can't leave a franchise quarterback that you paid that much money to on the bench. But they didn't give much to Mac Jones because they drafted him as a rookie. So, I mean, to sit him is, it's not ideal, but okay, we missed on that pick, but we got, hit on this one, so we'll move on.
I mean, to me, go with the guy that's winning. It just makes sense. But I mean, you go back all the way. And, we talked about this one before, that Tennessee miracle when Tennessee beat the Bills in the playoffs and freaking Doug Flutie was playing for the Bills. And was pulled from the game, not because the coach, not because of injury, but because the owner of the team went down there and pulled him. Jeez. I mean, some of these guys just, man, I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't want to win. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. No, they care more about how it looks and the optics than they do about the winning.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see if the Ravens and Pats can come through. Now, on the other hand, I mean, I got to be honest, it was probably the easiest week to pick an upset because pretty much everybody got upset. So I'm not surprised that we were both successful. I took the Giants to upset the Ravens. You took the Falcons to upset the 49ers. Those were both 5.5 or more spreads. So those were significant upsets, but we did just fine. So
yes.
Let's dig in for this week then.
Yeah.
Who's catching your eye? I took a quick look earlier, but I wanted to take a run through again here.
This is going to surprise you, I think. And here's why I'm going to take, for my upset of the week, I'm going to take Detroit over Dallas. I know it's a very crazy pick. But here's the thing. Detroit puts up the points when they're playing in a dome. They can just really put up the points. And I think if they were able to get St. Brown back, maybe even if they can get Swift back, I think that's going to be a closer game. I'm going to take it as my upset. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Detroit doing this, pulling it off, but I do think it's going to be a closer game, and I definitely take the over in that game because I think it's going to be a high-scoring one.
Nice. You know what? I don't hate it. It's bold. I'll give you that.
Oh, it's bold. Yeah.
But, I mean, you know what? The Lions looked real good. The Cowboys, they've been winning, but they've been winning without Dak because they just rely on the defense and the run game, and they slow the game down. So it could turn into a bit of a shootout and put some more pressure on the D. Who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to take the Giants over the Jags, but it feels like a layup to me. I'm just how are the Giants still not the favorites here? They're 5-1.
That's silly.
The Jags are they just got beat by the Colts. And then, I mean, they're 2-4. So I mean, that's too easy to me. I can't imagine that. Like, that line doesn't even make sense to me. So let me find. I'm trying to find a harder one that I believe in. Because I'm like, I can't pick that. Right, like Falcons over Bengals. Like, that's a bit much for me. I don't have that much faith in the Falcons. The Bengals actually looked pretty good last week.
That's going to be an interesting game. Both teams sitting at 3-3 in Cincinnati. Falcons.
Browns. We just talked about the Browns and Ravens. Like, I don't think it's a lock, but I'm not going to call it an upset.
No.
Seahawks versus the Chargers. It's tough because the Chargers are probably getting Keenan Allen back.
The other game I was looking at was Carolina and in Tampa Bay. Now, I don't know who's quarterbacking Carolina this week.
PJ Walker.
But maybe this is the sign that that Tampa Bay team just.
That'd be a huge upset call, man.
So
that'd be bold. But no, I don't know. Yeah, because even right, like that would be. All right, let me finalize one here. Yeah, I mean, they've looked real good though. All right, I guess. I mean, they're pretty gritty, eh? What have they done? They're a better team. Yeah, you know what? F it. All right. Give me the bounce back game for the Seahawks against the Chargers. I'll go for it.
All right.
Gotta pick a bold one here. I don't want to cop out with the Giants there. So the Chargers, like, they didn't look very good on Monday. All they could do was pass the ball to Austin Eckler and throw short balls to Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
And I mean, they only generated 19 points, and most of it was field goals with one touchdown. So, and that took overtime. So, I mean, they haven't looked fantastic. I think they'll look better with Keenan Allen back, but who knows? Maybe Gino's got another rabbit out of the hat there, and he can give me an upset.
I don't know.
All right. So we're skipping perfection, even though there is still a perfect team, the Eagles. So they are 6-0, but they're on a bye. So
they will continue to be 6-0.
That's right. Yeah.
That is my bold prediction for this.
Oh. All right. So we move to the matchups then. And this is interesting. So I went 3 of 4 and you went 1 of 4 last week. So that helped me push ahead of you. I'm now 9 of 20 on the season and you're 7 of 20. So I've taken the lead there.
Yuck.
But let's peek in. A lot of lineups not set, a lot of injuries still to be figured out, and probably pickups to happen. But let's take a look at teams pound for pound here and see. So let's start with Jay, who's coming off back-to-back loser of the week performances, up against OMG, who we both sort of expressed that we like his team.
Mm-hmm.
So some moves have been made here. Jay's gone and picked up Romeo Doubs, which was, again, one of the players I was wanting to get back. And he also grabbed the New York defense who plays Denver, which is a wise decision because Denver does not score many points.
That's a bad defense or bad offense, sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
Really bad.
Brutal to watch. They should have won that game like 6 times. But
yeah. I'm not going to put much thought into this because I think I put way too much thought into it last week, and obviously it didn't pay off. So I'm just going to go with OMG. I think
this is it.
It's like his team.
Yeah, he'll probably put Hawkinson back in over Taysom Hill. Otherwise, It looks like he's got his lineup more or less sorted out there. And
maybe do something about the defense.
Yeah, well, I probably would, but who knows?
Yeah, I would maybe change.
Giants don't score a ton of points, but they do tend to win. So I'm with you. I would probably make a move there.
But other than that, I would, maybe sit Jerry Jeudy, but then who does he kind of have to put in? Doesn't really have too many players to put in, so maybe he's going to have to go. He's going to have to ride with Jerry Jeudy.
I think so.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. All right. I don't really believe in Jay's team necessarily here, although,
Oh.
I like Jacobs. Lamar and Andrews have a pretty good matchup. Do I take it to be counterintuitive, or do I stick with? Yeah, I mean, I could see it. No Josh Allen though. Tough. All right. I'll ride with Jay to take the contrary pick here. Keep us against each other, but I think this is close. All right. Let's go to the other non-me and you matchup, which we sort of already alluded to, with Evan missing a F ton of his players. Yeah, it's not good, man.
No.
It's also got a kicker and defense he's got to replace. Luckily, he has a kicker, and he can put Dak back in now for Russ, so that gives a big boost. Depending on who he can play. He's got Montgomery he can play. Juju, DJ Moore, Robert Woods are options. So
yeah, I'd probably stay away from DJ Moore.
I would too.
Maybe go for Woods.
Yeah.
Montgomery, you're gonna have to put in there.
Yeah.
And for Cook, and I mean, he could pull it off. I'm going to go with Dan just because that's that big core is just missing for Evan. But
yeah, Dan might be without Swift, but he's still got Cooks, Etienne, and Sutton and Myers that he can swap in there. So, and Tua's not a bad pickup to replace Jalen Hurts this week.
No, it's not.
All right. In here. Okay. Let's go over to me and Don then. Let's see on this one. So, where am I? There. All right. So I am Son's tight end. I have one in mind, but I'm trying to figure that out right now. Don may be swapping out Waller for Njoku if Waller misses. But yeah. So she got Hopkins in there from the trade. She's got pretty much the rest of her. If Taylor comes back too, actually. She's pretty got most of her. And then she picked up the Dallas defense to throw in. So aside from maybe swapping in Njoku, she's got pretty much a complete lineup there.
Oh, yeah. Who are you going to go with this week? You always go with Don.
I know, right? No, I'm going to have to pick me.
Oh, I'll go with Don then. I'll make it in because I'll go with Don.
Let's do it. She's got a good team, man.
She does.
It's not panning out for her. She got a win last week. I was correct on my finally picking Don. And, it's not a cakewalk. I'm not feeling confident. I feel good, but not like it's an easy one. All right. And you get to see if you can bounce back against Kreger here, who's made some moves, and he's hoping to have Keenan Allen back in there, and he's got Robert Tonyan in as his tight end right now instead of Kittle, so that's an intriguing move. And yeah, you've got you picked up Pollard, which I thought was a smart pickup. That was a savvy one. Saw him sitting out there.
Did Craig get rid of what's his name? The tight end from Atlanta? Pitts?
Yeah, Kyle Pitts.
Ah.
I know. I was debating. I was like, maybe that's where I go this week. But.
Yeah, I'm going to go for myself, but
yeah. I mean,
I got to change up that defense.
I was going to say you got to figure out your defense situation because that's not a good time.
No, it is not.
Yeah. If I don't love that he's got both Chargers receivers. I think it's hard for both of them to have a good game, although the matchup would tell you it's not. But that offense, like I said, hasn't looked that good. Burrow should be just fine. Pittman will be fine. Barkley's an animal. Jones has not been as good. Kamara should be okay. Contrarian or not? This is a tough one. This one's based a lot on Waddle and Higgins for me. I think if both Waddle and Higgins are at full health, then you've got a pretty good squad there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll go contrarian just to keep it intriguing here, but a lot of good players on both sides here.
And I just picked up the Arizona defense.
Oh, there it is. Smart. It's a good move.
Yeah. I
You
didn't
don't
like.
want to play against Kansas City, especially when you have Mahomes as your quarterback.
Yeah, I was looking at Tennessee there, but I just don't have faith in Tennessee. So
I get it. I mean, they're playing Matt Ryan, and he just torched Jacksonville. So
yeah,
who's to say they couldn't torch them, right?
watch them put up the most points.
Honestly, you never know. It's weird. Turnovers, man. It's all it comes down to. One pick six or one fumble touchdown, and all of a sudden, boom, there you go, right? All right. So that's the matchups. Let's get into it here. It's about that time.
Somebody must have picked up Pitts.
I don't think so. Did they? Maybe. We'll look in a second here. Come on. Have a drink on me. You got anything? Water? Coca-Cola?
I don't have anything tonight. I got a pop from earlier, so here.
Take it.
I'm not.
Right.
Guess I have to drink it. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, warm.
You don't want the bad voodoo, man.
Oh, and by the way, I just picked up Kyle Pitts.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Making moves. I like it. On the show live, making moves.
On the fly. This is how we do it.
That's right. I'm so fly. All right.
Now I have to keep drinking.
So who's legit is the question, right? So I've got ourselves an interesting exercise here. So we're going to walk through the different tiers of teams, and we're going to kind of talk about, are they legit? Are they not legit? So we've got the 5+ win category teams, which surprisingly there's actually 4 of. I would certainly say that one of these things is not like the other, if not 2. But no shocker here that the Eagles and Bills are those 2. So, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that those 2 are legit.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think probably put them along with probably the Chiefs as the top 3 teams, but they're certainly in there. And the other 2 are the Giants and the Vikings. So they're both scrappy teams that continue to win. They're both 5-1. Minnesota lost to Philly, so I mean, you can't really fault them. And who was the Giants lost to? Do you remember? Did they lose? Did they lose their first week?
Who did they lose to?
I'm gonna check it.
Cowboys?
Beat Tennessee.
Was it the Cowboys?
Was it the Cowboys? You're right. Yeah, the Cowboys in week 3.
Okay. Yeah.
So So again, pretty good loss, right? Like a pretty good team.
Yeah.
So okay. So what are we thinking here on the Vikings and Giants in terms of where would you? So right now they're the 3rd and 4th best team in the NFL. I probably I'm gonna go out on a limb and think that you don't think that, but
no.
But where would you rank them if you had to just sort of throw a number out or a range?
I'd put the Giants ahead of the Vikings.
Okay.
I like the Giants. I'm just a fan of how they're playing too, right? In the comebacks and just they don't quit. I just love that kind of football and their head coach. Like both New York teams, really, I'm just really enjoying watching right now. Like they're just love the head coaches. They just got great head coaches there. So
Abel and Salah, man.
Amazing. I love watching them. They look like player coaches, guys that just can get along with the players and be one of them. So But if I had to rank, obviously I would still have the Chiefs up there.
So let's look for a sec. Check this out. So remaining schedule for the Giants. So we've got Jaguars, Seahawks, bye week, Texans, Lions. So I mean, I think they could win all 4 of those games.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Then Cowboys, probably a tough one. Washington, Eagles. All right, so probably losing Dallas and the Eagles. Washington, Vikings. So that's it's a maybe. Colts, Eagles. So I mean, I think you're going to lose twice to the Eagles. You're going to lose to Dallas. Maybe the Vikings, but that's like 4 losses.
I mean, I could see them up there with 12, 13 wins at the end of the season.
Saying, man,
that's a playoff team right there. I mean,
I think they're legit in terms of you put the schedule together with the way they've been playing, and as long as Barkley stays healthy and Daniel Jones is not making too many turnovers, then
the real test will be those Philly games and the Dallas games, right? That will really tell you they may be a playoff team, but are they a deep playoff team, right? So
Well, unfortunately, those 2 teams are in their division, so they have no chance to win the division.
No,
in my opinion, anyway. I know technically they're only 1 game back of the Eagles, but
remember, was it last season how bad the division was?
Yeah,
weren't they the laughing stock of the NFL, and now they're one of the best divisions in football.
It's crazy.
We all thought AFC West was going to be the toughest division.
I know.
It's KC's clearly just walking away with that. I mean,
oh yeah, no, the KC's they're the cream of the crop. But outside of that, I mean, the Chargers. We'll see with Keenan Allen back if it makes that much of a difference. But
I'm
not sure about that.
No.
All right, let's go Vikings first. So we've just kind of sussed out that we think the Giants could get to 12 wins and certainly be a playoff team. Vikings they're on a bye. Come back against the Cardinals. And they play Washington, so I'll give them that one. So I'll say so far 1-1-ish.
Yep.
And they play the Bills. I don't think they're beating the Bills. 1-2.
Whereabouts though?
At Buffalo.
Ooh, no, I like Buffalo.
And they host the Cowboys. Could be a good game actually, but I would probably still.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough team.
And they host the Patriots.
Tougher schedule than.
Yeah, and they got the Jets, Lions, Colts, Giants, which we talked about, and then the Packers and Bears. So
that's a tough schedule.
Tougher schedule for sure, eh?
I mean, definitely a tougher schedule. And when they played Detroit too, they've already played Detroit, I believe, didn't they?
Yeah, it was close.
It was a close game. So I mean, it's not an easy one.
28-24 when they beat Detroit.
They could be better than the Giants, but they are actually in a tougher schedule for sure.
Yeah, I think they could still make the playoffs, but they're probably more of like an 11-win team.
Yeah.
10. Yeah, where the Giants could get, like you said, to 12 or 13 wins with that schedule.
Yeah.
All right. The 4-win tier. So there's 2 that we sort of already talked about that we believe are legit, the Cowboys and the Chiefs. So I think the Cowboys are there. I don't know if they'll be able to take the division crown from the Eagles. I think the Eagles are the better team, and they already have 1 win against them head-to-head. So probably going to be hard for them to catch them. Because they're 2 games back plus the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I think they're a playoff team, and I think we both believe in the Chiefs. So.
Yeah, I mean, they lost that close one against the Bills. They'll be back, though. Yeah.
They had that 1 mishap against the Colts. Otherwise, they've played real well this year.
Yeah.
All right, so we got those 2 in. And then this is another 2 interesting teams, right? So one we just talked about, which was the Chargers. And the other one is the Jets. Those are the other 2 4-win teams right now. So let's go Jets first. Excuse me. I'll give you their schedule and you tell me what you think. So Broncos, I think they could beat my Broncos. I have no qualms about that, sadly. Patriots, that's always interesting, man.
That's going to be a big game.
It is going to be a big game.
And good for it's. I'm happy that rivalry could come back to New York and Boston, right? So
So, okay, so one win and then tough game. And then the Bills at Buffalo. So that's not ideal.
They got some tough ones.
And the Patriots, so they host the Patriots, so they play them twice in 4 weeks.
Oof.
2 out of their 3 games. And they get the Bears, so that should be all right. They get the Vikings, so that's kind of intriguing. Man, they get the Bills again.
Oof.
Lions, okay. Jaguars, Seahawks, Dolphins. Yeah, they got a tough schedule too, eh?
They do. Well, that AFC, what is it, the AFC East?
Yeah.
And that's a tough one.
Turning it to be a lot more competitive. Right?
Yeah, the NFC East and the AFC East. Who knew that those? We knew Buffalo was going to be really good, but those two divisions, I would love to see them, squeeze into the playoffs. Just because they haven't been there for, I don't remember the last time the Jets made the playoffs, had a competitive team.
Oh my God. It's
probably when like Byron Scott was playing on their defense. Remember that? When he had something to say about Brady or something. But a long time. So, but they're going to have to grind it out, man. They're going to have to grind it out. But, they believe, right? I mean,
no, I mean, I love that line, right? He was like, "Oh, we're taking receipts," right? Had Coach Saleh there, and
it's just
starting to pile up, man.
How long can they
got a fair bit of receipts now.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Chargers. That's for sure.
No, I'm not sold on them either just yet. They didn't make it last year, man. They lost to your Raiders there at the end of the season and couldn't make the playoffs because of it. So
yeah.
No reason to think that they're automatic by any means here. Trying to pull up their schedule. Phone's not working. Schedule. Where's the Chargers? Right, so we talked about that they have Seattle this week, which is like they should win that game, but should doesn't mean
no,
right?
Yeah, in today's NFL, there's no guarantees really. So
yeah, we've certainly come to learn that at this point that's not a lock by any means. See if I can find their schedule here. Roster info. Schedule. Here we go. Full schedule. Okay. So so they hit a bye. They got the Falcons, who are beatable, but they're feisty. 49ers, not ideal. Chiefs, tough game there. Cardinals, we'll see what the Cardinals are like at that point. Raiders, Dolphins, Titans, Colts, Rams, Broncos. That's a pretty tough schedule as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna it's gonna be another tight one for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're gonna get in either. That they might get in as a wild card because like enough teams have to, but okay. And the best of the rest here.
Yeah, I was looking at this.
So I'll go team by team, and you just say
nay or yay.
I was gonna do that, but I feel like that's hard to say because it's like, does yay mean playoffs? Like, what's the bar?
Contender.
Right? So
I think a contender.
Okay, so like they could actually win a playoff matchup, not just sneak in. Like the Eagles last year snuck in and got blown up by the Bucks.
Yeah.
Or Pittsburgh snuck in and got destroyed by the Chiefs, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
They got in, but like it was a joke, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, could they contend in the playoffs and get into the playoffs and contend?
Yeah.
All right. Buccaneers.
I'm going to say nay. I just the last few weeks that they've played have not looked good, so I don't see them turning the train around. I just
it's scary to bet against Tom Brady when it's only October.
I'm betting. That's it. I'm done.
Okay. I like it. It's Barry and Brady. All right. I'll go. Yeah, I think they could figure it out,
Oh,
but
it's
I'm not
bold
sold, but I'm
prediction.
not ready to give up yet.
That's not
Ravens.
Yay. They've had a couple of tough losses, but I still think Lamar is one of the best quarterbacks in the game. They still got a pretty good defense. I don't know. They're going to be to me, they're a grinder. They're one of those teams that I still think if they're able to get into the playoffs, they could win a playoff game, but it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they got to figure out the receiver situation. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, they grabbed Deshaun Jackson. They've got Devin Duvernay and James Proche out there running routes, and Demarcus Robinson, and they're waiting on Bateman. And so they got to get some stuff figured out. The backfield's a mess with Gus Edwards still out. J.K. Dobbins not healthy. They're throwing Kenyon Drake out there, who looks okay, but I mean, they don't have a lot of talent. It's just kind of really what it comes down to. So if they can figure out a way to bolster this roster, I mean, maybe they should be in the McCaffrey trade rumor situation. But
yeah, that would be a big.
Can you imagine with that offense how often they run the ball?
Oh my God. That would be a running first team.
I don't think you'd get check down receptions though, so I don't want that for fantasy. But
no. And they need to get J.K. Dobbins, if he can get going. But unfortunately, I just don't think that's going to happen. But
yeah,
and also too, like, John. I always mess up his last name, John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
He's got to stop making those gutsy calls.
Oh man,
go with the safe bet. Just kick the extra point, tie up the games.
I know.
Go with it.
It used to work well, but the offense isn't as potent as it was.
The last 2 seasons, it's not working for him.
No,
it's not working. Stop
generally not working.
Analytics. Stop. Just play smart football.
I get you.
I don't know why I'm getting angry. I don't even like Baltimore, even though I got a Baltimore Orioles hat on. But
all right, 49ers.
Yay!
Me too.
I still think this team is really good. I still think Jimmy G's a decent quarterback. He's not worse. He's not the best, but he's a decent quarterback. And that Deebo Samuel's with him as a wide receiver. They got a good running game. Usually they can't get behind the 8 ball though, because if they do, that's when it can kind of come apart. That defense is really solid too. So
yeah, they've had some injuries to the offensive line. Kittle was banged up. He's back. Elijah Mitchell's still out. He'll come back at some point. So if they can get healthy, they should be just fine.
Yeah.
Rams. Oh goodness.
Nay, I don't like the Rams. I didn't like them
for sure.
I think they got lucky with that Super Bowl. I mean, just a fluke. They shouldn't. I mean, if they had played KC or Buffalo in the Super Bowl, they're not winning it. I don't care. They're just not winning it.
No, I agree.
I'm just not a fan of them.
No, I think they're a trick pony, and that trick is Cooper Kupp, and he can only take them so far.
Yeah.
Bengals.
Yay. I think they're turning around the ship right now. And
Me too.
That's, Jamar Chase and Burrows, they're fun to watch, man. They're just so fun to watch. I don't think, they'll be a challenging team for sure. I mean, especially if Higgins can get, fully healthy, and Tyler Boyd. I mean, they got a deadly on offense, and they get going. They're going to be a scary team to play. So,
all right, 3 more. Packers.
Nay.
Yeah, it's scary, man. It's another one like betting against Brady, betting against these are like the goats of the game for the past 2 decades or decade and a half. But
yeah, it seems like it's just how Aaron Rodgers, I think, coming out saying we got to slow it down or something like that.
Yeah.
Slow it down. You got to speed it up.
Well, he was saying we got to simplify it because the offensive line and the young receivers aren't up to speed on what they're doing here, so they need to simplify the offense, which is interesting because head coach Matt LaFleur was kind of like, I don't know what he means by that, right? So.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm surprised Aaron Rodgers is still there. I don't like it. Just seems like a really bad marriage. The people that you're just like, why don't they get a divorce? They're just horrible with each other. It's getting a little personal, but I'm just saying, it's kind of just a really.
Him and Brady, man, they could both be done after this year.
Yeah, that's true.
I I'll probably say nay because I don't think they have the personnel, but they do have some talent with those backs. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Patriots. This is interesting.
This is a team that scares me because Bill Belichick seems like he's got that team going. The defense looks great, and now the offense is starting to come around. So look out for these guys. I don't know how well they can do, down the long stretch there at the end of the season. Maybe they get in, maybe they don't. They got a tough division, obviously, but they're going to be a tough team to play. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. That's just my opinion. So I guess I'll go with a bit of a nay on this, but it's a yay.
Yeah. It's the quarterback, man. The Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi situation. What is that? What does that come out like, right? Like that's the mystery. Because if they could solidify that, then I think they, like you said, their run game's great. Their defense is great. I think they could compete.
They haven't played Buffalo yet, though, have they? So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see some of those games because that will really kind of tell you what New England is all about.
All right. Last but not least, the Dolphins.
Yay, if they can stay healthy. If Tua can come back, if Waddle can be healthy, Tyreek Hill, this is a team to look out for. Now, their defense, that's the question point. That's a question mark. But if they can stay healthy, man, they can stay right there with some of the best. I mean, they beat Buffalo, but that was a tough game. That was heat was tough, and but
all right. Matt, game of the week is our final segment here. Who are you? What game are you most excited for this week? What's got your eye?
Oof. Wow, I'm looking through it right now. It's not like there's one that kind of stands out like clearly.
It's not like a marquee matchup where you're like, oh, that's a game we have to see how it goes, right? Like a lot of like the Browns Ravens one's kind of interesting. Is a divisional matchup. I'd probably say Cowboys Lions just to see Dak come back and see what that offense looks like is a good one.
I was going to say that. Yeah, I was going to go with that, or I was going to go with the Falcons and Bengals because they're both 500, and I'm really interested to see if the Falcons what kind of team this really is. So, but I'm going to go with the Lions and Cowboys.
All right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good choice. All right. Anything else before we wrap it up here?
No, I will. Looking forward to seeing you in person next week, doing the show live in person, in studio. Maybe we'll have, Aaron Rodgers stop by, maybe Peyton Manning. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but
we know there'll be at least one Aaron here.
Yeah, there will be one Aaron there. So, and there'll be a Peyton there too, right? So,
That's true. So, all right, GibsonFantasyFootball.com, Gibson_FF on Twitter, Gibson Fantasy Football, all one word, Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify. As always, good luck to everyone. And until next time, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
Love you, Mom.